Hello, I'm Miss Neena, and today I'm going to show you how to make a kaleidoscope out of items you may have around the house. Let's get started. For this project, you're going to need aluminum foil, a packing tube or an old paper towel roll, some cardboard, about the same size as your paper towel roll, a hot glue gun, a ruler. I'm going to be using scrapbook paper to decorate my kaleidoscope with, but you can use markers or paint. You're going to need a clear plastic container, some scissors, and finally, you're gonna need an assortment of sequins, beads, and glitter. First, we're gonna take our cardboard and we're gonna measure out 3 sections that are 1 inch long, or 1 inch wide. And then we're gonna do the same on the other end. What we're basically doing is measuring out 3 strips that we're gonna wrap in aluminum foil and then create a triangle with that we're gonna place inside the tube. It's gonna help create those reflective images that we're looking for. Next, we're gonna go ahead and cut these strips out. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this in aluminum foil, making sure that the shiny side faces out. And then I'm going to repeat that for the remaining strips. Once you have all 3 strips covered in foil, what you're going to do is you're going to hot glue them so they create a triangle. Now, instead of doing this, you could use metallic poster board, and that would offer up a more reflective kaleidoscope image for your kaleidoscope, but aluminum foil will work too. And so I'm gonna use hot glue to secure them. If you don't have hot glue, you could use regular glue. It's just gonna take a lot longer to dry, and then you'd have to be a little more gentle with it. When using hot glue, make sure that you are using an adult supervision because it can get very hot and it can burn. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start hot gluing it. After it's completely cooled, you want to have something that kind of looks like this. And then next you're going to take your paper towel roll or packing tube and you're going to place the triangle inside. And what you're going to do is you're going to glue it to the sides of the tube so that way it stays secured. And then you're gonna wanna make sure that there is some space at the end, about ½ an inch of space at the end, so it doesn't go all the way through. If it does, you're gonna have to trim the inner triangular tube. So let's go ahead and glue it. As you can see, it didn't quite reach over on this end, but the hot glue is gonna make it still secured within the tube. Next time I will definitely have to properly space these angles out to create a more wider triangle. Next, you're gonna take your plastic container and you're gonna take your tube and measure out 3 circles on the lid. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tracing. Once you have those traced out, you're gonna go ahead and cut them out. What you wanna do is for 2 of the circles, cut outside of the line, and for the 3rd circle, cut inside the line. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut them out. Once you have all 3 circles cut out, the smallest circle is the one that we're gonna pick up and use first. You wanna make sure that it's small enough, you might have to trim it, so that way it fits inside of the kaleidoscope. And then once you get it to fit inside, you're gonna secure it with hot glue. And then you're gonna wanna make sure that if there are any holes that you seal them up with that hot glue, so that way your beads and sequins don't get trapped and kind of loosen up and go out throughout the entire kaleidoscope. They stay secured. And then you're gonna go ahead and let that dry. Once that's completely dry and you wanna make sure that you have enough space again, you're gonna go ahead and take your beads and your sequins and you're gonna fill it in there. You wanna make sure you don't fill it up too much, so that way as you turn the kaleidoscope, the items have a chance to move around and sort of change the image as it moves. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting some items inside. Once you feel like you have all your pieces in there that you want and it's not overcrowded, you can take your second piece, lay it over the end, and then hot glue it to the tube. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. And then once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and let that dry. Once you're done with that, you're gonna go ahead and take your last piece of plastic and on the opposite end of the one that you were just working on, you're gonna go ahead and secure that piece of plastic to the tube. Once you're done hot gluing that end, you're gonna go ahead and let that cool down and dry. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and measure out my scrapbook paper, which is what I'm gonna use to wrap the entire kaleidoscope in. So this piece is actually like the perfect length for this kaleidoscope. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it down. I'm gonna go ahead and trim off the excess and glue that part down too. Once you're done gluing that down, you can go ahead and trim the ends. At this point, your kaleidoscope is pretty much done. What you can do is put an eyepiece on the end, and the way to do that is to take some cardboard, cut it out to the width of the circle or the diameter of the circle, glue it on top, and then put an eye hole on there that is smaller than the triangle. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that next. I made a circle in that piece of cardboard so I can create an eyepiece. I'm gonna go ahead and glue it on. Once you're done gluing down the eyepiece and it's completely cooled, your kaleidoscope is officially done. Another tip for your kaleidoscope is to make sure that the aluminum foil that you're using is completely wrinkle-free as you're folding it, so that way you get a more crisp image. But you're pretty much done at this point. You can gently turn your kaleidoscope and point it towards the light and watch as the image changes. Enjoy your new kaleidoscope. Thanks for watching.